Where are you going?
And we got this one voice that... does not do anything but giggle at us. Hey guys, welcome back to Mark Jackson. Man, this game feels like taking the red pill and the blue pill at the same time. I wonder how that would work out. Probably not too well. Or maybe they just counteract each other and go right back to the beginning. But yeah, Hella kicked our ass, destroyed our sword. The name of the game is Hellblade. And we have no sword. Great. And now we're lost and turned around. And injured. Yeah, Hella was no joke. Crawled out like a big mutant SJW baby and smashed us. Ooh. That's a person walking around in the light, training with a sword if you can't see. So we're on the right path, if that's Dillion. Oh man, we're hurting. We're hurting. For sure. So yeah, for sure, let's get a move on here. A bit of a confusing area, for all its linearity. And a little bit frustrating that she's staggering around. I can't say I blame her though, we took a hard hit at the end of the last episode. Again, everybody, thanks so much for watching this series.
She was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others.
She looks like she's still a teenager.
Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father, Zinbal, made sure of that.
Well, I guess the question...
Occasionally did she venture out on her own.
I guess the question is, why did Zinbal, her father,
Errands out in the
lock her up in the house?
That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
Barren and lonely, but not without heavy doses of imagination, as this has proved so far. We can't run up that. So the only way to go is in this range. I don't want to get turned around. Turned around, waste your time. I don't want to miss anything either, too. And I thought I might have saw something over here. If I didn't, I didn't. And I didn't. All right, let's orbit before we go up that ramp. Test the borders of the map. God, this is beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And Senua is gorgeous, too. Interesting that she's got... Nah, it's not a ring belt, but a belt in reverse. We're still carrying around Dillion's head, which is interesting as well, because the defiled corpse of Dillion, that looked like they'd given him angel wings in the last episode, which I was going to explain. I don't remember if I did or didn't. Angel wings are essentially when they rip open your back and spread your lungs out to make them look like wings.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Saw play under the shade of a tree.
I know it's gruesome. Angel wings.
Remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him.
Who's
The
this?
gloom lifted. And for the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
I'm trying to parse this story, guys, and oh, there we go. I'm trying to parse this story, and it's just, well, we'll get to that in just a second. I want to check out this. No, we'll do that now. Yeah, and then we'll check out the cistern, because that.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree. a gift to whomever can release it. Many try.
Nope. Oops. Sorry, guys.
His brother, King Sigmund, wants it, but Sigmund refuses it. So King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Yeah. Part of the story, part one. Alright, we got a ladder here, so let's head on up. Actually, there is something I wanted to do as well. Alright, guys, sorry about that. I wanted to adjust the brightness. You didn't miss anything other than us running like 15 steps, so. Back at it again. Look at that house in the distance. Yeah, I kind of felt like the last episode was a little bit dark. I looked at the brightness and it went back to default for whatever reason. Weird stuff, anyway. Alright, so this door is our recourse, apparently. Focus. I'm not a fan of touching this thing. Yeah, really. So we're not getting through here, at least not at the moment. Yeah. So what's next? Where do we go? Head on back down here. See if we can't proceed. I hope we don't have to do combat, you know, not having a sword. Oh, what do we have?
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead.
And it's like she's delirious.
Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death.
Oh, great.
Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end?
Oh, no.
Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again,
Yep.
you'll never guess what happens.
I can guess the plan. What actually happened, I'm not sure. Somebody wanted someone's face chewed off. Alright, so, yeah, we're getting there, and I think it's going to be around here. Looks like the way we need to be. God, this game, I'm so glad I discovered it. It really all starts with BioShock, where I wanted on the channel, okay, I'm gonna start doing games with just fantastic stories and see where that takes me. And it's taken me to games that are way out of my wheelhouse, games that I never would have played. For this one being an example, we have an area there, 2 ways to go. What's this afford us? We'll look this way first because the other way looked a little bit farther. I don't want to miss any story here. The Sigmund thing is shaping up to be somewhat interesting. Okay, a little bit more than a lot. Do we have some here?
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free.
I was
Sigmund lives like a hidden forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart
Cersei Lannister. Much. I've caught a couple of Game of Thrones references in this game. Alright, this way. I think. Don't trust me on that. But it looks like we're heading in the right direction.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance.
Oh, so the dance is...
Wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out.
Oh, the dance is combat. Sword fighting. Yeah, now I get the reference that Dillion mentioned earlier. Ooh, what do we have there? Can I go water dance with that? Can I do another Game of Thrones? Is that appropriate?
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfiotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. Luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
Oh, buried alive. Yeah, because that'd be a nice way to go. No, I know I can't even fight. But again, it looks like Dillion is ahead of us, glowing brightly. Oh, shit. Seizure alert. Wow, that's great. Look how happy and aw she looks.
It's just deception.
And notice how the rot's gone from her arm.
If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew. And dance with it. Just like he does.
Yeah, the glowing shapes of Dillion we've seen and the references confirm, in my opinion, confirm that he's talking about sword fighting, combat in general. We got a weirwood tree. Game of Thrones again. I love her face.
What's your name?
Oh, we're Dillion now.
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
Yeah, we...
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
You did.
No.
No one. Another Game of Thrones.
I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
Hell out.
I'm Dillion. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
She
You
seems so
can't put it
shy.
into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all. Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will
I like
die
how-
here.
No.
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
That's great. I love how she was looking right at us. That was...
Dillion? Is that you?
And here we are again. Just piercing gaze.
I'll find you, promise.
And it just goes all the way back to I think episode 1, where I mentioned that we're a voice in her head, and we're playing these different roles from time to time during the cinematics, which I think is really, really cool.
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is
It's
he
by a tree.
You're alone in these mountains.
Well, first things
Nothing
first.
lives here. You
Nothing
won't
lives here, eh?
survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you?
We know we met him by the tree,
By the tree.
because we just had that flashback where we were Dillion. Alright. Okay, we've got something over there and something over here. Why does that look familiar to me? And I can't place it. Huh. Alright, but there was another one over here. A little bit more conventional as well. So, let's go have a look-see.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hole. The king
That was
burns to
Grim?
death.
Is that the name of this Odin sword?
Sigmund
Grim?
calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come
Real
out,
mythology.
but
Grim,
only
I
to tell the
think?
truth, that she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a son
Oh.
avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike
No.
vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay.
I'm going to stop with the references, but I think you guys know what I might be thinking right here, right now. Yeah, I think Odin's sword was Grim or something, and it was like cursed or something. I honestly don't... My Norse mythology is... Well, I'm sure you can tell by now it's not the greatest. A little bit, but... Alright, there's another one over there that we should look at. And then there's up the tree, but up to the tree. But let's check this out too.
And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles.
Look at
One
this
day,
damn tree.
an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword.
Graham.
The sword
That's it.
named Gramr.
Graham. That, yeah. I got it wrong. I said Grim, didn't I? Well, we need a sword. So,
A sword.
oh yeah.
Dillion left it for you. Take it. Take it. Take it.
Voices said Dillion left it for us. Whoa, man.
It's a tree. It's a tree. It's empty. It's coming from there and there. What are they? Look. Where's it coming from? She started something.
What's happening?
Where is
Senua.
Yeah.
Imagine
Good question.
a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago.
Oh,
It is said
so
a great warrior can reforge Gramr by
Those-
answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard.
that's why they looked familiar to me.
Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the
Yes,
shards.
yes.
What's
The
shard?
totems.
Find it.
The totems looked like... Yeah, that's why it looked familiar to me.
Find it. The metal. The runes. You need that sword. Go to the shards. Find it. There it is. Focus. There's the shard. Focus.
We'll focus.
Use your eyes. Look. Get closer. What can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never
King in the
fade
north, huh?
and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring
King in the north.
victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place. Where are we? Where is she?
And I expect he will. But we're going to do that in the next episode, guys. Hey, I've been Mark Jackson. This was a lot to take in. So I want to keep going,
So
but
strange that we
I'm
go
going to
to
lop
such
it off
lengths to
here.
bury death.
Whoa, man, we're in a completely different area.
Something so very ordinary.
But yeah, I want to give myself time and you guys time to process what we just learned. That was a hell of a story, and I sure am
Because we have no
looking
answer.
for a sword. So maybe we didn't.
But when it comes,
My search for the runes
it forces itself onto our friends
Didn't-
and loved ones.
on the blood groove of our sword that got shattered didn't amounted to nothing, and the Hellblade is the sword that we're quote unquote going after right now. I guess we'll see.
Something so dangerous.
Hey, I've been Mark Jackson. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.